The reason why so many of these scientific podcasts are not airing the viewpoint that there are no contagious diseases, it's not because we aren't brassed up enough. I mean, it's not because we don't have PhDs on our side. It's because nothing's happening in the academy world. This alleged delusion is not becoming known to everyone. It's not taking off. There's no big revolution in thought and idea. So why would any of these podcast hosts who believe in vaccination and contagious diseases, why would they air someone like me who say, oh, tell us what you think? This would only upset their customers. This would make people angry and sad and scared and sick just to see my viewpoint, just to realize they can't contend with it, and to imagine that someone can, but they don't know who, and they don't know what the debate looks like, but they believe it's there, and they're just absolutely disgusted to see this presentation from someone like me who doesn't believe in contagious diseases, or Dr. Lanka, the most famous of us, who is a PhD virologist, and he's a molecular biologist, and God knows whatever else he has done in university. The reason that it's not revolutionizing in academy is because this is an industry, and it was set up in the start of the 19th century basically. It has supported a majestic industry with employees, and it teaches along these lines, and it continues to create models and paradigms and concepts along these lines, and some of them are really tricky and convoluted, and people line up and learn this, and then they proselytize what they are taught. They sell vaccines, they do all sorts of things based on what they were taught, and when someone like me comes along, they say, I don't want to talk to you because I don't know how. I don't know how to address your arguments. And if they run a podcast, they'll say, I don't want to air you because my customers, my audience will just get angry. None of them will know how to deal with this. If it hasn't taken off in the academy, then there's no point me trying to help it here with the general public. As if you have to actually be an expert to know why you ought to believe in vaccination and contagious diseases. This is absurd. And that is not always a magic bullet too. There are plenty of experts who don't believe in contagious diseases or life-saving vaccinations. So why not just give everyone the full view of the situation from people like me or people who are heavily brassed like Dr. Lanka? It's simply because they can't make money from it. The ones who are, they're making progress slowly. But the ones who believe in vaccinations and portray to be putting out these scientific discussions, looking into all these issues involving science, like the Demystifying Science podcast on YouTube. Oh, we're looking at all these issues and debates and new things and stuff, all to do with science. They haven't even aired this. They interviewed me once and they said, yeah, we're going to air it, and then they said, now we're going to have to chop it up and then air it, and then they said, oh, we can't actually air it because we don't know how it's going to work. They're simply chasing customers, and it's actually quite sad. They portray to be all for just scientific culture, bringing things out and discussing them and inspiring the public and discussing things in front of people. But oh no, they've claimed, no, that's too boring. We don't want to discuss anything with people who don't believe in contagious diseases or vaccinations, even if they're PhD virologists, even if their point of contention is not conspiratorially based. even when they're saying this is a delusion, not a conspiracy, you don't want to discuss how they're actually saying that, what they're standing on. This is quite sad.